It's time for Mail Call.
Oh, boy, I love the interaction.
Yeah, this is one of our favorite podcasts, which, like JP said, pretty much all the podcasts are our favorite. But we love this one because we love talking to you guys.
Yep.
I just broke Radio Rule 101. Saying you guys.
Just acting like you're talking to one person.
If you ever want to get into radio, they always teach you radio's personal. You're always speaking to that guy or girl that's in their car and they're writing. Like you keep it direct. Anyways, I'm getting off track. It's the end of the day. We're exhausted. We finally ended this big marketing seminar campaign we've been doing with our FM station jobs, and it's still not quite over, but the hardest part is over.
We're over the hump. Right.
So I'm a little out of it, which I have been the last few days, so bear with us.
It's been arduous.
I'm Justin.
And I'm JP.
And we are the Podcasting Dead. If you're listening to this, odds are you listen to our regular podcast. But if you did find it floating somewhere in the internet, we podcast about a variety of things, including shows like The Walking Dead. We also do a random rambling where we talk about everything from conspiracies to different sexual positions. We do current events. We talk about things trending. And actually, I'm excited to announce, you guys don't get it yet. We're going to hold it back. But we actually last night recorded the first paranormal podcast.
We did. We didn't have the most exciting guest on.
I love Aaron, but to his credit, he was just kind of Snapchatting the whole time.
As far as the topic goes, he didn't really have a lot to say about it, but we worked with what we had.
The plan for this was the very first one we were going to just talk about our own experiences, which are primarily mine because JP only has the one, and that's actually on the channel. You can find it where he talks about, because it happened like a year or two ago. Mm-hmm. But so the first one was going to be us talking about our experiences, and then the rest to follow, we're going to feature a guest for each one. It's going to be like a 6-episode run, we hope, or something like that, like a little mini-series, we'll say. And each one's going to feature someone different, and they'll be entirely based on their experiences. And the guests that we've got lined up all have a tremendous amount, like a good 30 minutes worth of ghost stories. But for that one that we did yesterday, I told all of the ones that have happened to me. But I thought it was still pretty good.
Yeah, you were more the guest on that one than anything, just because you had more to say on the topic.
And I don't even really believe in ghosts, but I do go through the things that have happened that I just really can't explain.
Aaron would be better in a different format.
I think he'd be great on current events.
Yeah, or even a Wednesday podcast.
Yeah, he says he might come in Wednesday. I don't believe it, but we'll see.
I don't either. We've had people say that in the past. So far, the only person who's actually lived up to it's been old Matt Crowder.
Yeah. Like the one, twice.
Yeah, it's been on.
We've been trying to get him again, but I don't blame him. He plays late night shows, so 8 o'clock to him's probably pretty rough.
Yeah.
But anyways, it's time to answer your questions. Before we begin, if you haven't already, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Give us a like on the video. It helps us out a ton. After the video, we'll give you our own social media information, as well as talk about the Patreon, which we have up now thanks to you guys, and it's actually doing pretty darn good. We've been very shocked and just very pleasantly surprised at the response we've gotten to that. So anyways, without further ado, JP, let's get some questions.
All right, well, this isn't a question, but it's a pretty good comment. AH, 6 days ago, born and raised in South Carolina.
There you go.
Loved Myrtle Beach as a child. It has gone downhill, like The Walking Dead after Glenn and the Magical Dumpster.
Oh, wow.
No longer family-oriented. It gets the bad type of tourists and is too pricey.
May I just add, that's why you should go to Ocean Lakes. It's family-friendly, and it's away from all the gangster activity.
See, I like the dicey part, but I haven't been to Myrtle Beach in like a decade.
I don't go to the Strip much anymore. The Strip sucks. I used to go to the Strip.
Also, if you watch Forensic Files, Myrtle Beach is the scene of the crime in quite a few episodes.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I one time, and what's bad is this wasn't recently. This was like, gosh, let's think. This was like, oh my gosh, I'm getting old. This was like 12 years ago, but it was like right after high school. A bunch of my friends and I, we didn't go to Senior Beach. Well, some of them did, but I didn't go to Senior Beach week. I stayed back with my girlfriend, and I wasn't forbidden to go. I just, I was young and whatever. And I was like, no, I'm just going to stay with her. I don't feel like going. But then I kind of regretted not going because I wanted a beach week. So like the following summer, myself and a bunch of friends got a really crappy house at Myrtle Beach, and we went and stayed and had a great week. It was a good time, despite all of the roaches in the place. There were roaches in there like the size of my thumb.
We ain't talking about blunt roaches, like actual creepy crawlies.
There were both, let's say that. But these I'm talking about were the kind, and probably both the size of my thumb. But so. One of the two was crawling up the wall and freaking us out. But it was a fun week. But I do remember This is back more when, I guess, so many people try to dress gangsterish. But one of the guys with us was wearing a black shirt with khaki shorts, and he had like a black bandana hanging out of his pocket. I didn't even know that was gang colors.
Yeah.
And like seriously, these two dudes like rolled up on us, and they weren't really talking to us, but they were like, "Yeah." And this dude's little too. Like he's not a big guy. And they're like, "Yo, do you know what those colors stand for, man?" And they were talking real gangster, like, "You know what those stand for, cuh?" All that, and he's like, "No, it matched my shirt." And they like took his bandana and were like, "Yo, we're doing you a favor. We got a good mind to, yeah." They didn't say shoot you or cap you, but something like tighten you up now or something. But you know, we're gonna do you a favor because we don't think you look too scared right now to try to be gang. We're gonna hold on to this so you don't get your ass kicked later or something. And I'm like, see, all y'all trying to be gangster. I'm sitting over here with my billabong. Ain't nobody messing with me.
Yeah,
I just look like a surfing stoner. You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't nobody messing with me. But yeah, dude, that was like, I mean, that was a while back. And I mean, so it's just it's gotten more dangerous since then in Myrtle Beach.
Yeah, it's a dicey place. Like I said, it's been a decade since I've been, probably.
JP's savage. He lives for the dicey places.
I do, man. If I went, I'd definitely be on the Strip. Just, you know.
The head shops are cool to go check out.
Yeah. All right.
Was that it from that one?
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Thanks for the comment. Who is that?
AH.
Thank you, AH. You rock.
And the trying to tell anyway, the thumbnail, I was like, it looks like a cross between Howard Stern, Whoopi Goldberg.
Oh, I've seen that one. Yeah.
Juice.
Yeah, I've seen that one. I know exactly who you're talking about. Thanks for commenting.
All right, Brian Akeem, 6 days ago.
What's
Mail
up, man?
call. Who do you think will get Rick's comic death?
Spoilers.
Yeah.
Which I doubt you've been able to avoid that spoiler reading the comics because it has been everywhere.
Yeah.
But so if you don't want the details of that, you might want to tune out for a minute. But I could probably see Daryl getting that. I don't think they'll probably even. I don't even know if they would use that in the show.
I think, man. I could see Carol getting it, just as many kids as she's killed, both through murder and through neglect. I could see Carol perhaps getting it.
She's only murdered like
she
one
killed the one looking
child,
at the flowers.
right? Yeah.
You know, Sophia, like I said, you could maybe say that, you know, neglect got Sophia killed.
That'd be a stretch. But
That'd be a stretch.
Maybe.
That is a stretch.
Maybe. I still am blown away that she tried to blame Rick. Well, not blame him, but like fuss at him. Like, Rick ran after your daughter, like when she ran away. Like,
yeah.
But I mean, I get it. When people are distraught and lost their kids, they say, you know, a lot of crazy stuff.
She threatened to kill that little kid in Alexandria, Jesse's son or whatever. Yeah,
Sam.
Yeah.
Was it Sam?
I can't remember, man.
I love the show, and forgive me for not knowing.
It's been a few seasons ago.
It's been a few seasons back, and they really weren't the most memorable of characters either.
Nah, I mean Jessie was hot.
Oh my, no, she was very memorable.
Yeah,
but her two sons both sucked. One was a coward, and one was a douchebag.
Yeah. All right, well, that's it from Brian Akeem. Create Till Death, 6 days ago. Awesome convo on my question. Thanks, guys. I would love to go to the island from Lost 2. That would be rad. And his mail call question. Mail call. What would you do scenario?
I love them. Keep those coming.
Oh, yeah. You wake up one day and everyone is gone. There are no other humans anywhere on the earth that you can find. Everything else is as it was. What do you do?
I can get naked.
Man, that's, I've always said, you remember that Will Smith movie, I Am Legend?
Oh, yeah.
That's like my fantasy, man. Just everybody's gone. And
me?
Everybody, brother.
Even me?
The podcast would be a lot more boring, because no one to talk to and no one to listen to it. But I'd keep it going. Don't worry about that.
It's kind of like that show with, what's his face? It was actually, God, I really liked it. What was it called? I watched
Last Man on Earth. You talking about?
Was that it, the comedy show?
Yeah, I might be off on the name. I remember it. I didn't watch it.
I liked that show a lot. Like, that was actually a really good show. I watched the first season or two, and I didn't get to the... But yeah, like, that's kind of... I mean, which they ended up, obviously, there were others there. But, you know, his situation was like that. Like, he straight up had, like, the Declaration of Independence. He'd taken everything.
I heard a lot of people like that show. I'm trying to...
It's good, man. It's not like... It's going to knock you on your feet. I mean, on your ass laughing.
Will Forte?
Will Forte, that's it.
Right,
yeah,
right.
It's a really... I really like that show. It's just a good show all around.
I heard a lot of people were into it.
He's such a douchebag in that show, and like you find yourself rooting for him, but when bad things happen, you don't feel that bad for him because he's just kind of a douche.
Right, yeah.
What would you do? I don't know what the first thing I would do is. I mean, obviously, I'd start stocking. I mean, I have somewhat. I would try to have somewhat of a survivalist mentality. So I would go ahead and run to the grocery store and start stocking up. And I would eat like a king before all the steaks and everything went bad.
I'd eat all the ice cream possible because once it's gone, it ain't coming back.
So. I don't know. What would you do? What's the first thing you do? I'd probably be in disbelief. I'd be calling people, going to the houses.
I would probably masturbate just because that's a natural anxiety relief for me.
But would you do it outside because you could? Like, would you just go stand out in the middle of the road? Because have you ever skeeted in the road?
I never have.
Right. So that would allow you to do something you've never done. Just go stand out in the road and leave your seed in the concrete.
Ooh,
what if it like seeped through and just the right plant happened to be there and it combined and you created some kind of like freak plant child people?
That I might have to try that. If I can figure out the logistics and the location, that might have to happen. Nonetheless. So yeah, that's what I would
Sorry for that if that was a little graphic for some of you.
I mean, everybody does it. Come on.
Everybody masturbates in the middle of the road? I'm not the only one?
Apparently not.
Then why do I keep going to jail?
Well,
I'm just playing. I don't masturbate in the road.
No. But yeah. So that's it for Create Till Death. I guess, yeah, we would eat a lot of ice cream and just
And steaks. Don't forget steaks.
Steaks.
I would definitely go to the liquor store.
And man, I would definitely like just everything I've ever wanted to see, just like break into the Vatican and see all that ancient stuff.
I think the first thing I'd do, it wouldn't be fun, but my first thing would be survival. So if everybody's gone, I'm going to start stockpiling like gas because I'm assuming there's still power, right? Like everybody just vanished. There's still power though for a while until, I guess we have power plants. So I guess after a while power would go out, but some places that maybe have like the turbines or water power might be okay for a while. But the first thing I would do is go stockpile like food and water and gasoline and stuff like that. And then once I had everything and felt comfortable, like a good base of operations, then I would do what JP said. I would stock up on gas, drive across the country, and just see what I wanted to see. And
yeah, thinking about it though, I guess the Vatican would be out. There's no way I'm crossing the Atlantic.
Yeah, by yourself too.
Yeah, that is not going to happen. So I guess pretty much the North American continent,
right?
Unless I could cross the Bering Strait, and even that would be a stretch. I'd have to go all the way through Alaska, then all the way through like Siberia or whatever.
Hell, you ain't got nothing else to do.
Yeah, that'd be a rough trip, though.
In this scenario.
I mean,
yeah, I would just I'd go see all the land. So does that include animals too?
No, I think animals would still be around.
So it'd just be you, like they're still animals, just all humans
I think just
are
like
gone.
The human race. Yeah, kind of like why The Last Man, only it'd be men and women that just keeled over dead.
I gotta finish reading that.
Oh,
man.
dude,
I read the first trade, man. That was awesome.
I've got them, brother. You ever feel that itch? So yeah, we'll see if that happens. Fingers crossed.
That it does?
Yeah. All right, Jeep, 6 days ago.
What up, Jeep?
Broadway at the beach, staying on Myrtle. All right.
I love it.
Yeah, Broadway at the beach is okay in the daytime. I like those giant fish they have in the ponds. I think those are carp or maybe.
Yeah, there was a giant damn snake this summer, man. Just chilling on the rocks. It was a water snake, but
Jeep goes on to say, but don't go at night, whatever you do.
I've been at night. It ain't bad. I do prefer to go during the day, but that's not so much that Broadway sucks at night. For me, it's that I just want to get back to the condo and mix a drink and hop on the golf cart.
And
even if I don't mix a drink, I just want to get back and just get to ride in the golf cart.
Now Jeep is talking shop with me.
Okay.
Grocery manager is just a glorified term for a stocker anyway, JP. That can be true. Not always. Sometimes you do have to deal with a drunk or if you're like a closing manager after 7, you're the.
JP's had to reprimand shoplifters before.
I have, so it can be dicey, but a lot of times that is true.
Snitch.
Jeep says, I work on the front end though, so I have to hear it when we are out of something on the shelves the customer wants. We got one lady who literally loses her shite if we don't have her brand of cigarettes, for example. Mail call. What's the worst either one of you have ever been yelled at for something that wasn't really your fault and why?
Oh, my God. Where do I start?
I was going to say, does that include emails? Because you get those almost on a weekly basis.
Yes, I do. For things well out of my control.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, really. I mean, it's a law. I mean, I've got 3 siblings. So, with siblings, you're going to get yelled at for something you didn't do.
Yeah, I got yelled at really bad one time by my mom for not having enough friends. That
Are you
was
serious?
interesting. Yeah,
How long ago was that?
I mean, I had just I was in 7th grade, I guess. I just transitioned from a Catholic school to public school. And so, the group of friends I'd been with my whole life, I'm bouncing into a whole new environment. And so, yeah, it was tough. I mean, I'm already antisocial and inverted, especially at that age. And she wasn't happy about it.
I don't know why that makes me sad, man.
Yeah,
like,
man.
You don't yell at
she gave me the business, man. She went as hard as to make me get on the phone, call this kid down the road that I barely knew, just to ask him if he wanted to play like catch or something. Another thing, as much as I hate socializing, I hate sports even more. So. I don't know. She just didn't really get me at that juncture.
My sister threw a party one time while my parents were out of town, and then told them I did it. And so I was like, man. Oh yeah, and I was like 19 or 20. I was at a buddy's house, and like my mom called and was just raising hell, man. Just like it was like rough. And luckily, my friend's mom was getting really mad because she could hear it, and my buddy Jake was like, told her, I guess, what was happening. She was like, "Let me see your phone." And she was like, told my mom, was like, "Look, you need to cut that out. He's not lying to you. They were here last night. I was here. I can promise you, your son was not having a party at your house." Mm-hmm. And I'm like, my sister sucked.
Did your mom apologize?
No.
She didn't apologize. It was just like she hung up and spread the wrath elsewhere?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, she was just seeing red at that point.
Yep.
Oh, dear mamas.
A lot of times. Sometimes I don't even want to get into.
Yeah. I think, there's Mother's Day for celebrating mothers. I think there should be another holiday where you just, air all your grievances with your mom. And likewise for your father, too.
Well, they just have to sit and listen?
Yeah, they just have to sit and listen. I guess a lot of people would call that family therapy that obviously we've never been to.
Not once, ever.
Anyway, Dana B is next on deck. 6 days
Dana
ago.
B?
Mail call. Have you guys ever watched Deadwood on HBO?
Yes.
That's one that slipped by me. Just started watching it because Kim Dickens is in it, and they just came out with the movie. But there are a lot of The Walking Dead actors in it, too. I think JP would like it because there's a lot of open debauchery, set partly in a brothel. Ooh, I do like that.
Yeah.
I know you're busy, but thought you might put it on your list. It's been on my list for a long time. I just haven't taken the time. But no, I do like debauchery, and I've never been to a brothel, but if you find one that's, free of HIV and stuff, I'll go.
Yeah. I
guess they don't really put that on the front door though. HIV really, free since 93.
I'm going to watch the movie this weekend for sure.
Yeah.
I just have been busy the other weekends.
All right, Brianne McCann, 5 days ago. Hi guys, how's the gym going for you both?
I think the gym's doing fine.
Yeah, I go by it every day on the way home. So.
Actually, it's just hard to get in during the workday. I might start working out. I'm gonna get back into it. We got back into it for like a couple of days, but just like we said several times with this podcast, the last few weeks at work have been just mentally exhausting. So at the end of the day, as much as I consider myself a fairly strong-willed person, but I just can't make myself go do it. I'm like, I just want to go home and like see the baby and lay around and be lazy. Yeah. But that's going to change.
Brianne McCann, we'll let you know when we get back to it.
It's going to happen, I promise. I went 4 years very dedicated, like no less than 3 days a week for like 4 years straight. I can get back into it.
I've just got to the point where I'm kind of like having fun watching my gut get bigger. I'm just kind of like, man, let's just see where we can take this.
At least you'll have an arm rest when you need it.
That's true. So working on my dad bod. That's where I am, Brianne.
Did you call her Brianne?
Brianne. Brianne. That's a good handle. All right, mail call. Favorite summertime beverage. Have an awesome weekend, guys, and do something fun.
I have to work on tomorrow. I have to do a live broadcast on Saturdays.
Yeah, so no drinking for you, at least.
Oh no, there will be drinking, but it'll be afterwards.
At the remote.
My favorite summertime beverage is the same as every beverage, Jack and Honey. I just prefer it more in the summer. Now, I will say in the summer, I do get the itch for some Captain Morgan, the private stock, which is like my favorite spiced rum out there. So, like, I guess I would say summertime, something I don't, because Jack and Honey I drink all year round. I never not want Jack and Honey, but Captain Morgan Spice Rum, that's a summer drink I like.
There you go.
I like to mix that up with a little Dr. Pepper. Oh, no. Sorry. I do actually. I'm weird. I don't use Coke for a lot of mixed drinks. I use Dr. Pepper. However, for Captain Morgan Private Stock, I do get Coca-Cola because it's spiced rum. It just mixes better with the Coke, and it's delicious. I have two, actually. I don't know why I'm having so much trouble thinking about this. Also, Crown Apple. Crown Apple and Dr. Pepper taste like a caramel apple. Try it. You're welcome.
Yeah,
that would be my two summer drinks, would be a tie between Crown Apple and Captain Morgan Spice Rum. How about you, JP?
I don't really. I mean, I generally just stick with beer, man. I don't. I really rarely really have a taste for liquor unless I'm just going out or something. So I really don't have one. There was one summer where I drank a lot of Pinot Grigio. I was just on like a white wine kick, just kicking it on the front porch, drinking some Pinot. But yeah, I can't really say that I've got one.
That's something that I used to really enjoy. It sounds sad, but like after the gym, I would get home and whatever, but I'd love to put on my headphones or either just cut on a speaker and sit on my front porch because I was in front of a major highway, and I'd like an old person in my 20s. I would just sit on the porch and catch a little buzz, having a few drinks, and just enjoying it. I kind of miss that.
Yeah, and pretty much my beer stays consistent winter, summer, whatever. I know a lot of people change up their beer in the summer. They'll go for like a shandy or something. I don't know what you call those beers, but yeah.
A lot of people go for more flavored beers, it seems, like something with like a hint of apple or something. Yeah. I say that because some of my friends do that.
Yeah. All right. Brianne McCann also says, so, JP, how's the girlfriend? Smiley face. Well, I don't adhere to those kind of labels, terminologies. I do have a situation. He has
a girlfriend who lives with him, yes.
It's a practical situation. Like I said, I still am a firm believer that humans aren't really meant to mate for life, and daily intimacy has definitely been a challenge for me. It's not something I really am used to or enjoy all that
daily
much.
Intimacy? You talking about getting laid every day?
You've
been getting laid every day?
No, not even that. Just daily. I mean, I guess you could even say just daily human interaction outside of, what I have to do.
Because you normally would come out and go to work, and then you would have your fortress of solitude you went home to, right? Is what you're kind of getting at. And now having somebody there all the time, it's a little bit different. Well, she works some nights, though, right?
Yeah. So I still get some jank time in. But,
JP brought her to my house.
I did. I sure
Twice.
did. Yeah.
Yep.
So, yeah, it's, it is what it is. We'll see how long she can put up with me. I don't,
I was going to say, that is the question.
Yeah, that's really the question. Because, like I said, I'm built for solitude. And that really, my nature hasn't changed at all. I know a lot of people get into relationships and it kind of tweaks their brain chemistry a little bit. And I've never really experienced that.
I'm not that either. I don't think my brain chemistry has changed much.
Yeah. So, I know, like, my cousin, man, he's, like, freaking, like, girl crazy since he got with his, and they'd be posting cutie lovey-dovey selfies on social media and all kinds of stuff, and I'm just like, man. My
girlfriend and I have never been we've posted selfies before, but it's not common, and we definitely don't do it all the time with these nauseating quotes.
Right. But that being said, the person in question, wonderful, treats me great. I care about her a great deal.
Oh, my God. So, I've never even heard that.
Yeah, I care about her a great deal. I don't say words that start with L and end with E.
JP's in love.
No, I can honestly say I don't.
He's in love.
Even if I was, I would probably think that I had like the flu or something because it would be so incompatible with how my brain works.
We'll stick with, I'm sure she's happy with, and we'll stick with you care about her a great deal. That's good. That says a lot. That's cool. We can deal with that.
Yeah. So
working him down, folks. Working him down.
I don't know. Anyway, Scrady5. I don't know how I should say that. Scrady5.
I know exactly which one you're talking about.
Yeah. Okay. Mail call. If you had to pick one, which death from The Walking Dead would you rather have, Noah's or Glenn's?
Noah's or Glenn's? Glenn's.
Yeah, I don't want to be eaten alive. Jesus.
Like, I guarantee after the first swing or two, Glenn didn't feel anything.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you get hit in the head hard enough, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm sure that first hit he was hurting like a, and especially being knee and let him kind of sit there for a second. I'm sure he was in pain for just a little bit. But after about that second swing, which you're right, probably if you get hit hard enough to cave your skull in, you're probably not feeling
just
anything.
In shock, yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, without a doubt, Glenn's. Noah's was horrific.
Yeah.
One of the coolest deaths on The Walking Dead, actually, because it was just so graphic and honestly kind of unexpected for me anyways. I thought Noah was going to stick around just at least a little bit longer. I liked Noah. I really liked Everybody Hates Chris, though. So, I mean, I liked Noah.
I remember that show. I never watched it.
It was pretty good. I mean, I'm not saying it was amazing, but it was a good show.
All right. Shalev Rosh. I'm sure I butchered that. This is pretty much down your alley. Mail call. You guys, I hope you have a good day. What do you think about the new Call of Duty trailer?
I'm so excited. I'm sorry, I'm yawning. I've hated Call of Duty ever since they went to the futuristic Halo crap. And I loved Halo. That's the weird thing. You would think I would love it because I liked Halo so much, but I have not been excited about a Call of Duty in a while. I'm trying to think the last Call of Duty that I really played a lot. I actually liked Black Ops 3. That's one of the exceptions with the bouncing stuff I could deal with. But I didn't like Infinite Warfare. I did not like... what was the other one? I didn't like Advanced Warfare. Hadn't liked the best thing they put out in years that I liked was just the Modern Warfare Remastered. Mm-hmm. I really was hoping they'd put out Modern Warfare 2 Remastered because that and Black Ops, Modern Warfare 2 and Black Ops are probably the two that I played the absolute crap out of. I played the most by far, but my favorite, strangely though, was Modern Warfare 3. I thought that was best balanced, at least for me, the online, but. Yeah, I'm stoked, man. I'm stoked. It looks like a complete reboot, but they're going to keep the same characters that we love, bringing some back as we see, and going to put them in more modern situations. Okay. I don't mind futuristic stuff as long as it is in fact in modern warfare. I just don't want the futuristic crazy crap.
Right.
So, yeah, super stoked. I know that was a long way of saying that, but
there you go.
I'm sleepy. Bear with me.
All right, Heidi L. I'm just going to keep it at that.
What's up, Heidi?
5 days ago, I thought I knew a lot about music, but somehow I've never heard anything about the 1975.
Great band.
I clicked the first video I found, but it sounded a bit too depressing for me. I try to avoid certain songs or bands because they are making me feel down.
I commented and actually left a response on that one because... strangely enough, the 1975 is a very upbeat band. I'm not saying they don't have slow songs, but if you are, hopefully, Heidi, you will take my advice and check out the following songs by the 1975. They all put me in a good mood. Girls, Sound of Your Heart, It's Not Living. There's so many more. Change of Heart. They've got a lot of really upbeat, but check out one of those 4 songs. Change of Heart is really good. It's different. It's so different, and it's got a really cool video too. But probably the best upbeat songs they have are you've got Settle Down is really upbeat. So check out Settle Down, Sound of Your Heart, and It's Not Living, and Girls. Those 4 are very upbeat. I think you'll have a different opinion about them. I hope.
Well, we will stay tuned to that. All right.
Keep us updated.
Yeah. Jeffrey Gunnell, I don't know if I said that right, but one of our newest patrons. Big shout out to you, Jeff. We love you.
Thank you so much, Jeff.
Mail call. Hey, guys.
Hey, guy.
Love the podcasts. Like Jeep, my income is limited. I was in an auto accident in 2000 that resulted in spinal surgery and nerve damage. Yikes. So I'm on disability and work part-time as a locksmith tech at a local locksmith company. Hopefully I'll be able to contribute more on Patreon in the future because you guys are fun to listen to after a long day.
Hey, every little bit's appreciated, brother. It don't matter. And even if you can't contribute, just having you here in the comment section and your support, trust me, you've done enough.
Oh, yeah. Everybody, whether we see them or not, everybody that just listens and gets some enjoyment out of this, we love you.
Absolutely.
Or at least care a great deal about you. All right.
Yeah, JP doesn't really use that word. Yeah. You heard him. He just used it. Oh, I didn't even think about that. Yeah. You just used it and didn't even think about it. His heart grew 3 times its regular size.
Maybe it did.
When the Grinch got to that point, I wasn't thinking how sweet. I was thinking, oh my God, he needs to go see a doctor. Your heart swells.
Yeah,
it's not
that's
good.
Really not a good thing. All right, I've been following The Walking Dead since it began and follow Fear as well. Grew up listening to a lot of the bands you guys talk about, AC/DC, Iron Maiden, Dio, Black Sabbath, etc. It's cool when I hear you guys mention role-playing games such as Dungeons & Dragons. Been gaming for over 40 years.
Nice.
Okay, here's the question. Have you ever played out an apocalypse scenario together to figure out where to go, what supplies to get, and who to take with you? And was it in your location, or were you heading to another destination? All right, guys, this is turning into a book. Have a great day, and keep up the fantastic podcast.
Thank you for your comment, man. Is that all still the same guy?
Yeah, that's all from Jeffrey. And we've had podcasts where we talk about...
Yeah, and we've kind of... But, JP and I have talked about that even off the mic a lot. And where we would go is somewhere... I've told JP, the problem is JP lives like 30 minutes from me, but JP lives in a much more populated area than I do, so JP needs to get his ass out of here and down to where I am.
Yeah, I know we did like a whole podcast, and we were talking specifically about a zombie apocalypse.
Yeah, but that one I didn't like that one very much because it was just more silly. You know what I'm saying? It was fun to listen to, but it wasn't actually talking like real world scenarios. Right. What would you do?
Because I know we had mentioned in a zombie apocalypse, I'm trying to go up to the lake. It's about an hour away from us. It's a mountain lake where they flooded a mountain valley and they've got islands peppered all throughout. So.
I think that's a bad idea.
Well, you can't get trapped on an island. Can be a
you can get trapped, but also too you're very vulnerable to attack from other people.
Yeah,
you're just alone on that island. All they got to do is hop on a boat with a few guns, and they can take whatever they want, do whatever they want to you.
We would fortify.
My plan would keep you alive much longer. Okay, so there's a house that's little. It's in the town that I live. It's out on a back road. Mm-hmm. You can't even see this house from the road. In fact. The driveway is you can get to the driveway obviously from the road, but it's hard to explain without showing you. But the driveway is not the easiest thing to find either. And I think with a little bit of brush, you could completely erase. It wouldn't even look like a driveway there. You know what I'm saying? It's fenced in. It's a 17-room house. And true story, this is confusing. My friend's dad's ex-wife, his dad passed away when he was younger, and his dad's ex-wife wanted to give him this house. It was her dad's house. Just wanted to give him the house. Yeah. He didn't take it because of the property taxes. He didn't want to live in it. Needed some work. Just was a lot. Going to end up being it's cool that someone wants to give you this gigantic house on 100 acres of farmland, but it's a lot to take in, especially at that age. Mm-hmm. But we've been out to it several times. I've been through it, man. It is humongous. It can support a large group of people if they wanted to live there. You could easily secure this place. You could build up even more fencing and walls around it. It's isolated. There's a giant barn that looks very much like Herschel's barn behind it. So if you had more people than you could handle in that house, you could start having people settle into the barn out back. It's off the road. There's a river nearby that you can fish on. So you've got a constant supply of water. You've got food there. People have, not a lot, but people have hunted there, and there's plenty of wildlife in the area. It's the best plan. You're off the road, you're away from people, and I believe in I would either be one of two things. I would either try to get with a large group of people, or I would be by myself. Yeah, because. If you're going to be if I'm by myself, I can get out of situations a lot easier than having to worry about other people. But if you got a large group of people, most people won't want to mess with you. But I'm telling you, JP needs to bring his ass down to where I am, or at least meet me somewhere, and I'll get you there, and I promise you'll survive. You can. I've got pictures. Remind me to pull up some pictures. I got a whole video of that place. 17 rooms. It is humongous. Got an old-fashioned, dirt-floored wine cellar in the basement. But that's what we would do. We would have a constant supply of water. I've hunted my whole life. We would have we'd have food, which we wouldn't die. You can't kill off all the wildlife. Obviously, you'd have to hunt out a little ways. But oh yeah, and you could still get to town in a reasonable amount of time if you wanted to go do some scavenging. But I'm telling you, that's the best plan. So that's what's going to happen. If I have to, I'll come up here and kidnap JP.
Yeah, who knows how far I'd make it. But I guess we'll see when the time comes.
But anyways, yeah.
All right. Kate D'Amico.
Domingo?
Yeah. D'Amico. Yeah, it's got to be it. D'Amico. All right, 5 days ago, by the way, one of our newest patrons also.
Really?
Yeah, sure enough.
Thank you, Kate. Oh, my gosh. You guys are so awesome.
And in the drawing for the prize pack, which we'll talk about later.
Yeah.
Hey guys,
Hey.
just pledged to your Patreon page. Sorry I haven't been around. I had to put my dog down a few weeks ago.
So sorry to hear that.
Unexpectedly, and just was not in a good place, but I'm doing better. So
I feel that's awful. I feel bad.
I was in a similar situation about a year ago, so I feel you.
I'd be torn to pieces if I had to put my dog down.
That's why I have no plans to get a dog in the
It takes time.
in the future.
You can't just replace a dog. That's probably the worst when you lose a dog, and people are like, so why don't you get another one? It's like if your friend or somebody close to you dies, why don't you just get a new friend? It's like it's not. I feel you, man. You take your time, and when you're ready for one, you get one.
Mail call. What is the most bizarre thing you have ever seen? Also, a few weeks back, Justin, you mispronounced my name, and I'm sure I just mispronounced it as well, which is totally fine since it happens all the time. It's pronounced D'Amico.
I think we finally just said that, didn't we? Yeah, we finally got it right.
Raccoon's name from Pocahontas. You can just call me Kate, though.
All righty, Kate.
Kate.
What's the most bizarre thing you've ever seen, JP? I would say the most bizarre thing I've ever seen is JP in social situations.
Yeah, that can be a bit much. Man, it was a while back. I was driving home one night on the highway, and I saw just like something green, kind of like. It looked like it's just falling out of the sky. It's almost like a Green Lantern had just died, and his ring was trying to find a suitable host. And I watched it, and I like got on the other highway trying to track it, but I don't know where it went.
Sounds like a shooting star or something.
It was going a lot faster, and it looked a lot closer than a shooting star would have been. Like I said, it was green. And it was just coming down to the earth fast.
Now, that would have been something to talk about on our paranormal podcast. Why didn't you bring that up then?
I just now thought about it.
I one time was on the way heading down 58 here in our town because I lived in my town that I live in now my whole life, and I had moved up here where JP lives for a few years and then back. But when I lived up here where JP lives, I would frequently go back to my town on the weekends, and I was on the way home, and I saw, at first I thought they were lanterns, like those lanterns people release when somebody dies or whatever. That's like, you know what I'm talking about?
I think so, yes.
They're like, it's a candle and a thing, and it just floats up. And they'll release a lot of them at one time. Yeah. But I realized it wasn't. It was a bunch of lights all grouped kind of close to, when I say a bunch, I'm talking like 20 lights, and it was moving. Like they were all moving in unison, not up, but like across. It was really weird. I put something on Facebook about it, and one or two other people were like, I saw that. What the hell was that? So that was pretty damn bizarre. I'm trying to think if I've ever seen anything more bizarre than that.
Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, I definitely couldn't explain that. I don't know what the hell it was. It could have easily just been a bunch of government jets or something going. So I don't know, but I don't think government jets usually use headlights. But
yeah,
what do I know? I've never been a pilot. I don't know, man.
Yeah, maybe we'll address that more on the next paranormal thing.
I think that might be the most. I think I'm gonna leave that there. That might be the most bizarre thing I've ever seen.
Eternal Wreck 2 days ago just says GoldenEye was one of my favorites for N64.
Yeah, man.
Moving on, Holy Fook Something Wong 2 days ago. Mail call. Sorry I haven't been here to comment in a while, guys. Just got back from Panama City Beach. First vacation I've ever taken in my 32 years on this earth.
Oh, wow.
Had a blast, though, and I feel recharged. Just wanted to apologize I haven't donated yet. Vacation and twins eating up all my funds.
No need to apologize, man. No need to apologize.
We're glad you're here. However, I do plan on donating next week on payday. My question is, when did you guys realize that we are getting older? I do realize that we are not old, but on vacation, my girlfriend's brother from Florida came and visited at our condo, and he's 22 and was annoying. He is just plain old annoying. Really made me wonder if I acted like that when I was his age. If so, I'd love to go back and punch myself in the face.
You probably did, but that's the beautiful thing about life is we grow and learn from our mistakes. I know I was a douche at one point in my life, and because of that, I now know how not to act. You know what I mean? So yeah, you probably were, but we all were.
Yeah, I've been feeling old and ornery for, I don't know, like since I was a teenager, probably.
For me, it's not so much being old as it is just getting out of the gym. When I was in the gym, I always had lots of energy. I'd come home and get stuff done, and I'd go do it. Maybe it is a combination of being older, but I mean, I get tired more often. Like but at the end of the day, I do get up very early. I drive 45 minutes. I work all day, drive 45 minutes back. But yeah, just mainly the being tired. Like I don't have aches.
Yeah, man. I always got kind of ribbed a little bit for acting like an old man. I think it's because I was an only child, no siblings. My mom would take me if there was a party or to the bar or wherever. So I was just always around older people, be it they may have been really immature older people. So I think just it was kind of hard for me to relate to people my own age. So, and plus I started losing my hair at like 17, so there's that.
Yeah.
All right. Goes on to say, edit it to say that I hope you're doing both doing good. And JP, keep up the awesome vibes, dude. Are my vibes awesome?
I guess.
So I'm glad you like my vibes. I will keep them coming. Been through hell and keeps a positive attitude. Justin, hope your girlfriend and baby girl are doing great as well as yourself. Family's good. Yeah.
They're great.
Everybody good. Yeah.
They're great. I'm okay.
Yeah. After the week we've had with the sales seminar,
Yeah, but the baby's doing great.
And Holy Fook Something Wong also says, mail call. What was the worst elephant in the room situation that involved you? That's a tough one.
We've had those before with us and other people
Yeah.
that I won't get into because, this is all a small town.
Right. Golly, I'm trying to...
Gosh, I've had a lot of those.
Yeah, I know. It's weird how I've definitely been in situations at work where someone I had, maybe cavorted with. And then, we're at work and trying for things not to be weird and, trying for people not to figure out that, I was busting one up in the produce department.
That's gross. I think, too, I don't know if it's an elephant in the room situation, but I've had a lot of situations where, like, you're discussing, someone and, like, something they might do and, that annoys you. Or, like, you wish they would quit doing this because it's getting annoying. And then when you and that person you were discussing it with are with that person, and then they do it in front of both of you, and you're both just kind of looking at each other like, what did we just talk about?
Right.
Like, I've had a lot of those as far as just like, well, not a lot, but I've had a couple of times where you're like, man, I wish you would quit correcting everything everybody says. You know what I mean? And then like somebody says something and they correct it, and then you two just kind of look at each other like, I had a lot of, had those before.
Yeah. All right. Last but not least, and one of our very first patrons, Alex Jimenez, a mere 14 hours ago.
Was that our very first patron? Was that our first one?
May have been. I can't remember.
I think it was the very first patron.
Yeah, definitely an early on. Been with us for a long time. Mail call. I'm honestly okay with the recent death in the comics. As for you, Justin, be glad you don't have to worry about it in the TV version.
True that.
Yeah, maybe no. We'll see. Have either of you guys seen Chris Hansen in To Catch a Predator? That series was amazing.
I loved it.
Yeah, I used to watch that quite often.
I've spent hours watching YouTube videos, like just recaps of like the most awkward or the strangest people or whatever. Yeah, man, it was.
Yeah, good stuff.
People are so stupid and sick.
Yeah.
And then like part of you don't feel bad for them in any way, but then part of you just, you're just like, oh, that's awkward. You know what I mean? But then you realize, you remember they're a predator for them. You know what I mean? Because at first you're like, oh, you're in trouble. That sucks. And you're like, no, it doesn't suck. You're a sick bastard. Arrest this prick.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Was that all of the YouTube mail calls?
I was glancing around real quick. I feel like I'd seen one on another one.
I've got one. You ready for it?
I should really screenshot these. You got one? Okay.
Yeah, this one comes to us from Facebook. Don't forget, you can always send them on Facebook.
Right. And I found one on our Tuesday podcast as well.
Oh, sweet. Well, since you were reading, you go ahead and read it. I'll do this one next.
Glorious Lorius, mail call.
Sweet name.
I'm wondering if she's a patron. I can't remember. Anyway, we love you anyway. Mail call. Justin and JP, what are some of your least favorite travel experiences? I knew Connecticut was going to be on the least fun state list. I moved from the New York City area to Connecticut, and I can attest to its boringness.
Oh, wow.
It has its charms, though. Thanks, guys, and much love from New England.
Much love to New England.
Yeah.
Well, to you in New England. I don't really care much for New England, but much love to you being you're in New England. I've been in New England, yeah.
Yeah,
It's been a while.
I spent a few days in New Hampshire and had a great time.
Nice.
Do you have a really awful travel experience?
Oh, I got a bunch. I've traveled a lot, so yeah, I've got a ton of bad travel experiences. But what about you?
One's kind of dark and depressing, so I won't go into that. But I went to see a comic in Nashville a few years back. It's been at least 5. Oh, no, probably. Anyway, and I don't know. I went before that with my buddies, and we had a great time. And no, I couldn't get anyone to go this go round. But I was like, man, it's going to be just as awesome as before. But being by myself, it was actually pretty depressing. And the hotel was super seedy and shady. And I didn't get murdered, but it could have happened. So yeah, yeah, I'll go with that one.
Yeah, I've had them. Gosh, just to narrow one down though is a little difficult. Let me think. Maybe that is how I'm getting older. I can't recall things as easy. Let's see. We went to the beach one time and it freaking rained for the first 4 days, like so bad that we couldn't even go out of you couldn't go to the beach. You didn't go nowhere. We just stayed stuck in a condo with 12 people for 4 days straight. That was a little miserable. Mm-hmm. Flat tires, stuff like that. I was in Richmond, Virginia one time leaving a rock festival, and we were going to this awesome little place called Bottoms Up Pizza, and somehow we ended up in the hood, and these random guys started we got to a stop light, and these random guys started walking up to the vehicle. Naturally, we had guns in the vehicle, but I was just like, dude, this light, man, go. Because that's the thing. We keep guns in the car, but we definitely don't want to shoot anybody. So I'm like, dude, I don't want to, just go. Screw the light, just go. That was pretty sure. I mean, because it seriously was 5 guys just walking up on me and this one other guy, and we're exhausted from the rock. I'm like, dude, go. Yeah. Really, I was more concerned about not getting my pizza so much as getting robbed or beat up. I mean, you take a punch, but if you're going to deny me my pizza, not going. No. Mm-mm. But yeah, nothing horrible. I haven't had anything where I'm like, oh, it was the worst trip ever. I've had a lot of little inconveniences.
Right. But nothing traumatic.
No, nothing that was just horrible.
I think that's it for the mail call, except for the one you're sitting on. But if I just highlight a couple of awesome comments, I know you read this one too on the Wednesday podcast. Antagonist Proletariat says the views of this channel don't translate the quality of the content these guys provide. Yes, thank you. Please also show your face. It will enhance and enrich the viewer's experience. When you
haven't seen my face.
I was gonna say when you see this mug, you can you're gonna
be like, go back to just audio. It'll definitely enrich. But yeah, that is the plan. That's half the reason for that Patreon is that once we get enough, we want to get some decent cameras. We're not going to buy anything crazy high, but just decent quality cameras. And then we are going to we're going to start doing some other videos, which you'll see our faces in. It'll be really cool. We're going to start when I go high. I used to really be into going hiking or going skateboarding or biking and videotaping it, and then doing kind of little montages, I guess, where I put the clips to music and. I used to love that. I had a little YouTube channel. I used to do that with a few things on. But that was just kind of a hobby of mine, was video editing. And I'm helping my dad do some video editing for one of his companies now. And it's got me back into it. So I told JP we're going to take my drone, which JP's terrified of my drone.
Yeah, I don't like it.
But we're going to go into the mountains, do some hiking, and get some awesome footage. So, yeah, there will be lots of video coming for you soon, my friend. We appreciate the kind words.
Yeah, and one other comment I'd just like to mention. Josh Berry, my fellow conspiracy nut.
What's up, Josh?
They just released documents about the dancing Israelis on 9/11. I have looked into this a little bit, but if you want to well, I'll give my Snapchat info at the end of this. You want to send me a link to some of the information you're talking about, do it. Or we also provide our email address on here. So yeah,
email, Facebook. There's lots of different ways you can send that to us.
I'm curious, Josh. I would like to see what info you've come across. Like I said, I've looked into it, but not substantially. So yeah, and you go ahead with who dropped us a message on the Facebook.
Oh man, this is a good one. This is from Rowdy Yammy. I hope I said that right. Yammy. Rowdy Yummy. Mail call. Hey, guys, I am from London, UK, and love listening to you. You two make me laugh. If you're listening to this, I accidentally put a laugh emoticon on the message here. I wasn't laughing at your comment. My phone is ridiculously touch sensitive, and I was just trying to scroll. So I'm actually getting distracted now because I'm trying to change that to something else. But anyways. I don't know where in the U.S. you are, but from your accents, you're sorry. All right, scratch all that. Let's start over. Sorry, I really got distracted by this laughing thing because now I can't change it at all. Man. Anyways, I'm from London, UK, and I love listening to you. You two make me laugh. I don't know where in the U.S. you're from, but your accents are great. Thanks. We're just from the southern United States. I love the randomness of your conversation and the sexual explicit hilariousness. JP is nuts. You both have a very direct and are naturally funny, and the connection between you two is great. Yeah, we love each other. JP won't use the word, but
I care about you quite a bit.
Enough of the praise. Questions. Where in the U.S. are you from? And I'm going to start doing that. When I read a question, I'm going to go question by question before we continue with it. So we make sure, because sometimes we have a bad habit of reading something that has 2 or 3 questions, and then we'll only, because we're so ADD, we'll only answer the last question. So JP, where are we from in the United States?
Oh, I mean, we're from the South, not the deep South.
No, we ain't down there with like the brother and sister lovers, which I don't even know if that's even a thing in the South anymore. But
yeah, I was gonna say there might be more of that, like in the Amish communities,
right.
Like Pennsylvania. I don't know. I know, not disparaging the Amish. They make some wonderful pastries. A big shout out to the Amish.
And they always wave at you when they're having the horse and carriage going down the road.
Thinking about it, man, we could probably diss the Amish all we want because they're not listening to podcasts.
And if they are, then they're not staying true to Amish tradition. But maybe they have a friend who listens to the podcast.
Reading the Bible.
And the friend will go be like, "Yo, there's these guys on the internet that are making fun of Amish," and then the Amish mafia will come and take us out.
That is a thing. I'm not gonna lie though, man. Like the store I work at, there's some that come through. And like they don't buying a lot of modern amenities, but a lot of them ain't believing in no deodorant, man. I'm talking about some nasty BO.
Really?
And I don't know if that's true of all the Amish, all the Mennonites, whatever you call them. But yeah, come on, just soap water and some deodorant. Please.
We are from Virginia. We're in Virginia right now. We live a couple of hours from D.C.
Yeah, Southern Virginia.
Yeah, Southern Virginia. Let's see. And then he goes on to ask... why do you think we don't see more kid zombies? That is a good question. I mean, they would be the first to really go. Imagine loads of creepy toddlers running around. That is a good point. Probably just because AMC thinks that would be too hard for people to see. But
I think maybe a lot of kids might have just got ripped apart and devoured to the point to where there wouldn't be enough left to really be.
Right, just like a top half crawling around, if even that. Yeah, because they're so little, and that many fully grown zombies like ripping into them probably would just tear them to shreds.
Seems like, wasn't there like a Rainn Wilson movie about little kid zombies or something? Seems like I remember something.
Was it
like
maybe?
That. I don't know.
Let's check into that. Let's see. Where in the world have you traveled, and could you tell me the best place you've been and the worst?
My favorite trip was out to New Mexico and Arizona. That's the farthest I've ever been from home. Yeah, I saw the Grand Canyon, went to Albuquerque. Here we live in what you call the Piedmont, so there's a lot of hills. There's not a lot of flat land. It's
mountains within like an hour drive.
Yeah. The Piedmont's is what you call the foothills. It's where the mountains kind of start winding down. But yeah, I loved it out west. I'd actually like to move out there one day.
Yeah, JP and I both, when we hike, love to hike mountains. Like that's always the funnest to climb a mountain. As far as the best place I've been, you hear me talk about it all the time, probably Ocean Lakes. I'm just playing. I mean, I love that place to death. But, I mean, yeah. I don't know, man. I was very fortunate. My mom was really big into making memories. So as kids, our parents, took us to a lot of places everywhere from, like, Disney World to just everything within reason,
Yeah, something you could drive to.
Right, something, yeah. I don't know, man. I've been I don't know. I have just always loved going to D.C. Like, I don't know why. I know it's not that far away. It's not exotic, but it's just so cool. Colonial Williamsburg's another really cool place to go.
Yeah, man. I really like Monticello.
I do, right. Yeah, those are some of my favorite. JP and I both love history, like just love historical places and old stuff.
Charleston down there on the South Carolina coast, that's a cool city.
Yeah. What is it, Mount Vernon? What is that, George Washington's home?
I think so.
Is that Mount Vernon? Yeah.
I've never been there.
That's a cool place to go, too. The worst place I've ever been. Oh man. Chase City, Virginia.
Oh yeah.
That place sucks. Yeah.
I've never been there either.
Chase City or Brookneal. Not to disparage anyone that lives there, but it's nothing to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chase City's probably a little bit worse because Brookneal just has nothing to do, but Chase City has nothing to do, and I think they have like a massive drug issue out there and gangs and stuff. So probably Chase City.
Are you sure you're not talking about the city we're in right this second?
No.
That sounds strikingly familiar to where I live.
No, I think that's probably. What's the worst place you've ever been to?
Man, like I've been in some like Virginia Beach. I've been around some like
that place has really gotten nice here in the last few years, though.
Yeah, I've been around some shady parts of it, man. Just like I love DC too, man, but I hate the traffic. I've been stuck in some.
Oh yeah, no, the driving is horrendous. Yeah, once you get out and you're on foot, just walking around DC, that's when it's really cool.
I mean, I also loved it. I only spent like an evening, like about 12 hours, but I love New York City the one time I got
Yeah, I got to say, as touristy as it is and cliche as it is, New York City is definitely somewhere you should go visit. I guess it would be kind of like London for England. Like, it's just that one city, if you're going, you got to visit.
You got to visit.
But yeah, New York would probably, yeah, I'm glad you said that. That would probably be at the top of my list too. I've always enjoyed going to New York City.
Yeah, I'd say for me, New Mexico, number one, New Mexico / Arizona, then New York City, and then New Hampshire. And after that, whatever. I don't know.
Well, there you go. What is your perception of Brits, and do you like the British actors on The Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead? I love Brits. You guys are so suave.
Oh, I'm a total Anglophile. I love Brits. I'm not as crazy. I'm not gonna lie about seeing British actors taking all these Southern roles. I think give them to some Southern actors who naturally have a Southern draw. I guess I'm kind of like an LGBT person who's saying, why cast an actor who's not transgender as a transgender part, but
when you could cast a real
right. Like
I don't mind if they're able, because some actors do it very well. I don't mind the British actors who can do it well. And
I'm not against it, but I guess I just like to see more genuinely Southern actors playing Southern parts.
Well, because sometimes just like how Americans, that was terrible right there. Like Americans do like some terrible British accents, like I suck at it because that's awful. I don't even know if that wasn't even British. It was like Australian.
Yeah,
I don't know. I can't do it right. So when somebody and it's not just British people, but just being on the subject, because there are plenty of people from California that try to put a Southern accent on a roll, and it sounds freaking terrible. Because we don't really talk that extreme like this. Like, yeah, we have accents, but most people you meet have a little Southern drawl. They might kind of talk a little more like this, but no one really talks like this. You know what I mean? That's just kind of like the stereotype.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you get into some like deep South, you might have more of that.
Right. So people that just pretty much have settled in the mountains and never really went anywhere else.
But I've got a lot of love for the Brits. I love like Mitchell and Webb. I love Chef Gordon Ramsay. I mean, I know he's a Scot technically, but I'm a total Anglophile.
Yeah, I love Britain, man. You guys got some great people. I really want to go to Britain. Like, I would love to. Like, we've got a lot of British listeners. I would love to. Yeah, I would love to do like a meet and greet, like a meet up. I don't want to call it a meet and greet, but like a meet up. Like in Britain or something would be really freaking cool.
Yeah, can I? Well, I'll wait till you get to the end of this.
Okay, we're almost done. Yeah. If you won $10 million, what would you do aside from getting some butt?
That would pretty much be the drugs. I would get those before, during, and after the butt. I'd go to like Amsterdam and go to a really cool, classy brothel. Where
he said aside from getting butt, that don't count.
Well, no, I'm just saying like a brothel where just whatever senses altering substance you want is just on tap, and I would just stay there for an indeterminate amount of time.
First thing I would do. If you're like me, you have an Amazon shopping cart, and in your Amazon shopping cart, you have a ton of stuff in the saved for later. Honestly, half the stuff you probably don't even care to get anymore because you've had it there so long. But what I would do, I would go to Amazon first, and I would click submit order or whatever. I would just order everything in my Amazon cart list, right? Mm-hmm. And then I would start dividing it up. I would try to give like my parents some, and I've got a friend or two who I definitely would hook up. And, I got a couple of friends I would hook up. I'd give JP some money. I would go pay off my house.
Yeah.
First, so if the question is first, I would buy everything in my Amazon shopping cart list. But as far
that'd
as
probably be the easiest part of the thing.
Process, then I would hook people up, and then I would pay off my house, and then I would go buy another vehicle and a boat and a new 4-wheeler and dirt bike.
I wouldn't pay off my student loans. I would buy the company that I owe the student loans to and just burn that company to the ground.
You still owe student loans?
Yeah, man, I haven't paid them in a minute.
Do they hound you for it?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Really? Has it hurt your credit
I
any?
keep meaning to get around to it, but, man, I don't know. I was like 18 when I took them out, and like I only went to university for like a semester and a half. I don't think I should be held responsible for the actions of that 18-year-old idiot. I'm not that person anymore.
Well, that doesn't matter, though. If you murder somebody at 18 or 19 and you don't get to say, well, I'm not that guy anymore, I shouldn't have to be held accountable for it.
If you come up for parole, I think they take that into account, you know?
I mean, you murdered someone, though.
Yeah, but well, I mean, there could be a lot of circumstances behind that. But I'm just saying,
hey, you did it. We all have to answer for our actions. I feel you. It sucks because I just am getting ready to pay off a loan that a stupid 19-year-old me took off and then refinanced because I was an idiot and didn't quite understand how they kept telling me every few years, hey, you're eligible to get another $1,000. And I was like, we're going to the bar tonight. People. And I kept refinancing. Finally, I'm like, wait a minute, why have I been paying on this for like 7 years? And they're like, well, you've refinanced 3 times, which I actually have a surprisingly great credit. But like I kept refinancing it. And then, it's just, but at the end of the day, I don't say I shouldn't have to pay for that because I did take out the loan. I gotta pay for my actions.
How about this? I don't think that they should legally be able to take out these exorbitant loans from anyone younger than like 25. I think if you're 25, you're of sound mind enough to, take out a loan like that. Okay. That's just me. Just me.
And so wrapping it up here, Justin, what is your beautiful dog called? His name is Charlie.
He is.
I named him. He's getting chunky though.
He get a little chunky.
I need to.
Have you got him neutered? He's neutered.
Oh
right?
yeah, he got.
A lot
neutered.
of times they'll put on the weight when they don't have them swinging balls.
And to being that we have the baby, the guest bedroom, we just had like one of those little like barriers in front of it for the cats, and my girlfriend has 2 cats, and we had the cat food in there, and so the cats would jump, and now it's setting out because the baby's in that room now.
Oh yeah.
And so one thing that's happening is when we're not looking, he's eating all the cat food.
Oh man.
Yeah. So that's what's getting him chunky, but he's still beautiful. Yeah, his name's Charlie. He's a German Shepherd Lab Rottweiler mix, and I named him after Charlie from All Dogs Go to Heaven.
Oh, there you go.
That and my cousin had a dog. It was a girl dog, actually, but it was named Charlie. And I just remember it was like the best dog you've ever seen. Like he would pull up to my grandma's for like family cookouts and stuff. Mm-hmm. And like for the first few minutes, he might get out and he'd say, Charlie, stay. And he'd come inside and talk for a minute and everything. And go back outside. And the dog was still just chilling in the back of the truck. Then he would be like, come on, Charlie. And she'd jump out. And I mean, whatever he said, she did. Mm-hmm. She was sweet. So a combination of that Charlie and I loved All Dogs Go to Heaven when I was a kid. So that's why I named him Charlie.
Yeah, I had some friends who had a daughter, and they named her Charlie, and I actually had the same idea. But the thing was, I wasn't going to name, if I was in that hypothetical situation, I would name her Charlotte and call her Charlie for short because, let's be honest, Charlie's a little bit of a stripper name, so I don't want, ID or, Charlotte's classy, and Charlie's a fun little nickname. So.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's just...
He says, there you go, some questions for you. Keep up the good work. Thank you so much.
We will.
Please continue to give us, as long as we keep getting questions. We don't care how many you want to ask. As long as we keep getting questions, we will keep doing mail call.
And just from that question, talking about partying in England, all that stuff, it just made me think, Dan Ashdown, longtime listener, great friend, we were going to do some video drinking game stuff the other night. Yeah, I didn't forget about you. I didn't blow you off, pal. I just got wrapped up outside of the house. Didn't make it back till it'd probably be 5 a.m. your time. So
I was supposed to play with him too, and Dan, I didn't. Same thing. I didn't forget you. What had happened was that we had just gotten back from being out of town. We went out of town to get some food. When we got back, a few of our friends were already at our house chilling on the carport, and we sat out on the carport without drinking for a really long time. Like at one point I went and got a beer, but we didn't even go inside to play games until midnight our time, which would have been like, 6 or 7 a.m. for you? And so it just really was a lack of drinking. But one night what JP needs to do is I need to come up here or JP needs to come down to my house and we'll video chat you and we'll play some drinking games with you together.
Yeah, brother. We'll figure it out, man. Maybe the next Saturday.
I want to do a drunk podcast.
We could do that.
I want to do a drunk podcast. I want to start off having a drink or two each, and then we'll start podcasting at that point where you're starting to get the edge off and you're feeling a little looser, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, so what were you going to say? Was that what you were saying?
Yeah, that's all I want to address. Just, Dan's, our buddy, and like I said, pal, when I'm away from the house, my, the data stuff, and so I don't really, I'm already done with my high-speed internet until my bill rolls back over. So unless I'm at the home base with some Wi-Fi, it wouldn't have even been an option, so...
Well, so that's going to wrap it up for this mail call. An exciting mail call, probably the longest mail call we've done in a while, well over an hour. I hope you're going to get this on Thursday. If you might be listening to it Friday morning, we'll see.
Yeah.
But it will. Here's a cool little tip. I give this a lot, but I want to make sure everybody knows. Remember, anytime a podcast is late, odds are it is on SoundCloud because it's a lot faster and easier to get it up on SoundCloud. Whereas with this, I'm going to have to put a picture over top of it, let that render, which can take an hour or two. And then, at this point, it's the afternoon. I'm ready to go home. We've worked all day. So if ever you're like, why is it, and next week, everything should be running like clockwork. Everything should be, Thursday's podcast will be available Thursday morning, Wednesday, all of that. But, if you ever do have one that doesn't pop up when it should, always check SoundCloud. Always check SoundCloud or CastBox because it will be up there. But, that's going to wrap it up. Before we go, JP, hook them up with your social media info.
All right. Like I was telling Josh Berry for a more direct conversation, Snapchat, I don't always give it out, but JP5000, JAYPEA 5000, that's the Snapchat. Periscope, JPSLIM, that's it. And for Instagram, which I never use, J_Ratsaw. Go ahead and give your streamline. Very easy to remember.
Boom.
Yeah.
I'm Justin Lloyd. That's all you got to remember. Lowercase, no spaces, no apostrophes, 2 L's in Lloyd. Just I'm Justin Lloyd. All lowercase will get you my Instagram, Snapchat, and my Periscope. And some people have found me on Facebook.
Oh, there you go.
I don't give that out, but hey, if you do find me, it's like a treasure hunt. If you find me, cool, I'll accept the request.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't do as much on Facebook though because I don't really get into politics, and so most of the time I'm either just sharing a picture of like hiking or
a
funny thought that I have.
We just kind of need the pages for work,
Yeah, so. But so follow me on any one of those. Feel free to reach out, and don't forget about the Patreon. Which again, if you don't subscribe to the Patreon, don't think we're going to snub you or treat you any differently. We love you whether you donate or not. Just
Absolutely.
you listening supports us more than you know. The likes on Facebook help us a ton.
Yeah,
we
weren't
Facebook,
even planning
on
on
YouTube.
doing a Patreon until just so many listeners, were like, get one. So we got one.
Yep.
We've got a lot of great patrons, and once we hit 20, I think we're sitting at 9.
Honestly,
right now,
didn't even think we would get close to that, and we're already halfway there pretty much.
Yeah,
I was
man.
like, wow, so we're really going to have to put this prize package together.
Yeah, once we hit 20, you're in the running for a prize pack. Whether you donate $1 or $1 million, you're still in the running. And I've already got a video of one of the components in there. It's a great Walking Dead action figure 2-pack. Check out the video. And we're also throwing something in that we will reveal on the Patreon page probably this week.
Yeah, this prize package will probably be valued well over $100.
It's going to be awesome.
By the time we've thrown everything, it's going to kind of consist of everything that makes us in this podcast, things that we like, things we talk about. Also, I found a company, and I think we're going to work on getting a logo here really soon. So if we get a logo, that means we can get some stickers made, maybe even some T-shirts or koozies, things like that. So if we can get that worked up before we get the 20 patrons, there will be some merch in there as well.
Yeah, and that's something we'll be sending out to a lot of people.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Get hooked up with stickers and swag like that. And a photo shoot hopefully soon.
We really hope to. If we do get merch out, please do us a favor. Like if you're rocking it, send us a picture or something. Like that would make my day just to get a picture of somebody, whether it be in Britain or it's over in New Zealand or wherever, if it's in Connecticut, West Virginia, wherever you're at, it would just be super cool to see somebody, that's nowhere near us rocking our gear. Like that would be such a cool thing.
I hope people sticker bomb us all over the world.
Yeah, I was going to say, cool. I don't promote doing I'm not going to say I don't promote doing I don't publicly promote doing illegal things. However, if you want to go somewhere really cool that a lot of people go to and you want to stick one of our stickers there, take a picture and show us. Like the Eiffel Tower, right? Who cares?
Yeah, we're not telling you to put one on the Mona Lisa.
If you want to.
Yeah, look.
I'm not going to be mad at you.
Not my painting.
Just take a picture.
Yeah.
Then we'll have to publicly come out and be like, we don't condone this kind of activity.
Yeah.
But But yeah, the Patreon's easy to find. You can click the link below. Sometimes the link's funny. Sometimes it doesn't want to show up as a link, so you can just copy and paste it into your search bar. Or you can just go to patreon.com and then just search the Podcasting Dead. But lots of fun stuff coming. Planning on doing a little bit more of like, I don't want to say vlogging, but vlogging style stuff. Like if we go to the mountains, I definitely want to like take my GoPro and film some and take the drone up, get some good views and stuff. And then, maybe put some cool music to it and, all of that. And so, yeah, lots of fun stuff coming. Our Supernatural podcast is underway. Like I said, episode 1's been recorded and ready to go. And I think once we have about 3, which we're going to do the next one next Wednesday night with a friend of ours. So, once we have at least 3, I'll start releasing them on Fridays until we've run through the 5 or 6 that we have.
Yeah. And our Woke podcast is, we're going to be working on that as well. Most of the guests I've approached have kind of been a little reluctant to come on. So it might be just me and Justin talking like we do most Wednesdays, but it'll be a lot more formatted and researched. So
I'm ready for you to wake me up.
I'm going to try, brother.
Should our theme song be that Evanescence song, the Wake Me Up, Wake Me?
We'll come up with something cool.
Should that be how we start each one since we're getting woke?
We'll come up with something cool.
I'm ready to have my brain just opened.
Oh, man.
Because believe it or not, I'm skeptical on some conspiracy theories, but I love them. Next time we're in the man cave, I'll make sure I show you a glance of how many conspiracy books I have on my bookshelf. Yeah. And some of them I think there's some pretty strong evidence for. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. So thank you so much for listening, for sticking with us, just for everything that you do. We love you. We appreciate you. And I guess we're going to see you on Monday when we review the Fear the Walking Dead.
Do it.
I'm Justin.
And I'm JP.
And we're the Podcasting Dead.